Hello guys, this is a little bit of a different video. I'm going to be ranking the Valorant Champion Seoul 2024 qualified teams. Now this will be a little bit different than some of the other tier lists that you see other creators do, but I'm doing this basically based on their Stage 1, Stage 2 seasons for each respective region, as well as two International Masters events. And then I'll also leave room for how I personally think that these teams will do at Champions. So just let me know if you like to see this type of content, and maybe I'll upload future stuff. So the first team that we're gonna look at, actually first I should tell you how it's set up. So the top tier, of course, is teams that I think could win Champions, or win the entire event. This should actually be above. So outstanding teams that are good, but maybe not quite as good as the teams up here. Good teams, and then teams I'm just not sure of because I don't know or haven't really seen them play. So the first team is Billy Gaming. I personally didn't really watch too much of the VCT China matches just because the time is bad for me to watch them, but from what I've seen, they seem to be a very solid team, but I haven't really seen them play. I know they beat NRG before, but I'm not totally sure where to put them on this tier list, so I'm going to put them in not sure for now. And then I can adjust it maybe once we get some of the other teams up here. Now, DRX, they got second in stage 2, and I haven't seen them on stage for a while internationally, so I think they're a really good team. Their Vision Strikers team is really good, but I think I'd say DRX is outstanding. And now I guess a lot of these they could change because a lot of this is unpredictable whether teams play, and also teams will play different at different venues. So I would say DRX is definitely at the top of outstanding as of now. Edward Gaming, they're probably one of, if not the best team in China, so I would put them at outstanding with DRX. I think they're a really good team. I feel like even though they're behind some of the other teams, I feel like EDG is just a really good team. And I am actually very excited for them to play. I think they'll do really good. Fnatic. I think Fnatic is a really good team. Of course, they did get first in EMEA, so I would put them, definitely could win the event. I think they're a really solid team. I think that their sub hero, I think he's really good. I think he fits the team well, so I would put them at could win the event. Fun Plus Phoenix. Now, they actually did win an international event with the Navi roster, but I think they're probably maybe the second best team in China. I mean, they could be the first best, but I think they're really solid. So I would put them at I would put them at good for now, like the top of good. I'm not totally sure. Now, Foot Esports, I feel like they're a solid team, but I feel like they're inconsistent. So I feel like I would put them at good. I feel like they do have good players, but I feel like they're just inconsistent when they play. I know maybe some of you guys will get mad at me for saying that, but I feel like they're a good team, but I don't think they're a great team. G2. So basically, G2 is the guard without Saya player, and I think they have Leaf. There, I think G2 could win the entire event. I think they've been on fire this entire year. I think they just keep getting better and better. Their performance is great. I really think G2 could win the event. I think they're definitely an S tier team. They've been looking great, but I feel like they have a couple not good maps, but there's definitely time for them to work that out. Gen G. Now Gen G is interesting because I feel like now they did get second at Madrid and first at Shanghai. I think they could win the entire event as well. I feel like all of the players on their team are just cracked. I think they're a real big contender. I think they're one of those really scary teams like G2. I feel like they do have a couple maps that aren't good, but overall I think they're really solid. I think they're a really, really solid team, and I could definitely see them winning champs. Crew. Now Crew, I've seen them play. I feel like, and now I guess you guys will get mad at me again, but I feel like I would put them in good. I feel like they are good, but I feel like they're also sort of inconsistent. I feel like they're definitely a good team. They're like Foot, but I feel like there's a lot of things that I could see that they need work on. But overall, I think they're a good team. I think they're a good team. Leviathan. Leviathan's interesting because I feel like they could win the whole event. They just had a really bad run at the Masters, and that could be just luck. Well, not luck, but circumstance. But I feel like their team is really good, so I could put them at outstanding. I just don't think that they're quite as good as these teams up here, like G2, Fnatic, and Genji. I feel like they're really good, but I don't know if they're that good. Sentinels. Now, I'm not a huge fan of Sentinels, but I do think they're a good team. They just haven't looked good since Madrid, so I can't really say anything. I feel like they could be an outstanding team, but just from the performance I've seen, I think I'm gonna have to put them towards the top of good. I would say above FPX. I think they're really solid, but they just need to work some stuff out because they haven't been quite as good with the experimental comps. And like I really get like why they're doing what they're doing, but I just don't think it's working for them. But I would definitely put them at the top of good. I would put Lev at the top outstanding, actually. I take that back. I put Lev at the top outstanding because I do think they're a really good team. Team Heretics. Team Heretics is interesting because I also think they're a really good team, but I'm not sure. I do not think that they're quite as good as these three teams up here, but I do think they're on par with DRX. So I would put them up there. I'm not sure if they would go above DRX as of right now, but I think this is a kind of a sleeper team. I think they're really good. Talon Esports. Well, it's interesting. They added a new player who's their rank 1 player, or was rank 1 player in APAC. So, I mean, I feel like Talon is a good team, but I also feel like they're just not consistent. I feel like they do have good plays and good maps. I would put them above Foot, maybe. You guys will probably be mad at me for doing that, but I feel like they are a good team. They're just not as consistent as these teams up here. Trace. I feel like Trace is really a wild card. Like I feel like they are pretty good. I watched one of their games, but I don't know how they'll fare against some of these other teams because I have never seen them play internationally, so I'm not sure. So I would put Billy Gaming below Crew, and then I would put Trace in between Crew and Foot, just because I actually think this team is slept on. I think this team is actually really good, but of course all of these teams are really good, and I feel bad putting some of these teams towards the bottom. But I feel like that's just how it's gonna be for champs because all of these teams are fantastic. So I would say these three teams definitely have the potential to win the event, but of course upsets can happen. Like there's a lot of these Chinese teams that nobody's really seen play too much, so I feel like they might actually create some big upsets with some of these other more established teams internationally. So I feel like a lot of these teams will definitely be better than this ranking. So this is just sort of what I think, but yeah, let me know down in the comment section if you guys like this kind of video, and maybe I can upload some more stuff. So thank you for watching.